Sir to kindly come on the dais and raise the chair. I also request our guest of honor, Professor Dr. D.M. Divakar Sir, to come on the dais and raise the session. Further, I request our chief guest, Professor Shivraj Adhikari Sir, to come on the dais and raise the chair. It was always the idea of organizing an international conference, and look, today we have come to the last segment of the same. The two-day conference witnessed dignitaries and participants from across the country and abroad participating in insightful and intriguing deliberations on some really burning issues of contemporary India. Taking the session forward now, I now request our principal, Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Sir, to kindly felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Shahi Shahi Sir, by presenting shawl, memento, and bouquet as a token of reverence. Sir, please. Please, I request everybody to give us a good round of applause. सभा जो है तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से गूंजनी चाहिए. This is our first visit of our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir to this college, and I extend my deep gratitude to him for attending our international conference. Now I request Professor Harikesh Singh Sir to kindly chair this valedictory session. Our eminent speakers for this session is our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Dr. Shahi Shahi Sir. The stage is all yours, sir.
यहाँ उपस्थित हम लोग के अभिभावक और सुप्रसिद्ध शिक्षा शास्त्री जयप्रकाश विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व कुलपति प्रोफेसर हरकेश सिंह जी, हमारे दूसरे अभिभावक देश के जाने माने अर्थशास्त्री सिन्हा इंस्टीट्यूट पटना के पूर्व निदेशक, भारतीय समाज विज्ञान एकेडमी के पूर्व जनरल सेक्रेटरी प्रोफेसर दिवाकर जी, पड़ोसी देश नेपाल से आए हुए प्रोफेसर शिवराज अधिकारी जी, विभागाध्यक्ष अर्थशास्त्र, त्रिभुवन यूनिवर्सिटी नेपाल, सामने बैठे हुए जमुआर साहब, अर्थशास्त्र के और विद्वान हम लोग के अभिभावक, सामने बैठे हुए अभी पूज्य विश्वनाथ बाबू, तमाम यहाँ उपस्थित सभी शिक्षक, शोधार्थी, पार्टिसिपेंट्स, मीडिया के बंधु, क्षमा प्रार्थी इसलिए है कि कल मुझे छुट्टी में जाना है वाइस चांसलर कॉन्फ्रेंस में गुवाहाटी। कल भी मैं पटना और वैशाली के विभिन्न प्रोग्राम में था, बहुत सारे काम पेंडिंग हैं, तो मैं पटना से आज ही आया। आज गया बोध गया जाके फिर यहाँ आना संभव नहीं हो पाता और आज ही देर रात हमको लौट भी जाना है, इसलिए मैं आप सबसे क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ कि समय के पहले मैं आपको और ऐसे उद्भट विद्वानों को प्रेरित किया कि शेड्यूल के पहले आप लोग आए, इसके लिए मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ। गया कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल, नाम लेना मैं भूल गया था, प्रोफेसर दीपक कुमार जी, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी आदर्श कुमार, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कन्वीनर आदर्श कुमार गुप्ता जी, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी श्रुति प्रिया, चंद्रिका सोनी, जॉइंट ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी गोपाल जी और तमाम यहाँ उपस्थित स्कॉलर्स। मगध विश्वविद्यालय का अपना एक इतिहास रहा, बौद्ध की ज्ञान और मोक्ष की यह धरती रही है और उस विश्वविद्यालय के कंस्टिट्यूएंट यूनिट के रूप में गया कॉलेज अपने आप में एक यूनिवर्सिटी से कम मुकाम नहीं रखता है। बिहार में विभिन्न कॉलेजों को देखा जाए तो मैं समझता हूं कि गया कॉलेज भी डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी बनने की क्षमता रखता है। मैं अभी तो महीना दिन पहले आया, इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस यहाँ आयोजित हुआ, शायद पहली बार हो रहा है ना, पहली बार हो रहा है। इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस कराना कोई साधारण बात नहीं है। संक्षिप्त समय में आदर्श जी, मैं आपको और आपकी टीम को मुबारकबाद देता हूं कि आप लोगों ने कम समय में इतना सुंदर कार्यक्रम किया और कम से कम ऑनलाइन मोड में, हाइब्रिड मोड में इसको करके देश विदेश के लोगों को जोड़ करके और ज्ञानार्जन का जो काम किया है वो अपने आप में अभूतपूर्व है। हम लोग के बीच इस 2 दिवसीय सेमिनार में मुझे नहीं पता था, मैं हरिकेश सर का तो जानता था, लेकिन दिवाकर सर को सुना कि वो भी यहाँ आए हैं तो मुझे बड़ा ही सुखद अनुभूति हुई कि वो भी यहाँ आए हैं, क्योंकि मेरा अपॉइंटमेंट उनके साथ था, यूनिवर्सिटी में मिलने का। तो सर आप लोग आए हैं, यह अच्छी बात है कि आप जैसे स्कॉलर्स के आने से इस कॉलेज की गरिमा बढ़ी है और खास करके यूनिवर्सिटी की प्रतिष्ठा को बढ़ाने में इस इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार के जरिए सबका मान बढ़ाने में सबकी भूमिका रही है। इसलिए मैं सभी आयोजकों को और यहाँ के प्रिंसिपल को मुबारकबाद देता हूँ। आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है सस्टेनेबल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट एक दिन में नहीं होता है और रातों रात जैसे बहुत जगह देखा जाता है सर कि आजकल नैक की तैयारी होती है और नैक की तैयारी के नाम पर बाहर की एजेंसियों से कुछ लोग तैयारी करवाते हैं। नैक क्या कहता है कि आप सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट करिए धीरे धीरे, बाहर से टेक्नोलॉजी को, बाहर से ज्ञान को हायर मत कीजिए, वो नकली होता है। और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट तभी हो सकता है जब राष्ट्र के सभी नागरिक अपना बेस्ट उसमें कुछ न कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन दे। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी प्रबुद्ध वर्ग की है। इस राष्ट्र के नवनिर्माण में आजादी के 75वां साल मनाया जा रहा है। यह देश बहुत विकास किया है। हमारा राष्ट्र बेशक अमेरिका और रूस के बराबरी में अब आ रहा है। चाइना हमको पछाड़ रहा था, लेकिन स्थिति बदल रही है। कोविड के बाद चाइनीज सिस्टम कोलैप्स हो रहा है। कहीं न कहीं चाइना के सिस्टम में कमी थी कि एकाएक उसका ग्रोथ हुआ और एकाएक डिक्लाइन शुरू हो गया। तो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए एक टाइम फ्रेम में सबको काम करना पड़ता है और इसमें आप जानते हैं कि हमारे देश में सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में सबसे बड़ा अवरोधक हमारे जनसंख्या का विकास रहा है। जनसंख्या जिस रफ्तार से पिछले 2-3 दशकों में ग्रोथ हुआ है, वो सबसे बड़े सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में एक रोड़ा बन के आया है। लेकिन मुझे खुशी है कि जो नवीनतम आंकड़े आ रहे हैं, लोग सजग हुए हैं, जागरूक हुए हैं। हम लोग का जो जनसंख्या का विस्फोट हो रहा था वो थोड़ा थोड़ा कम हो रहा है, यह एक शुभ सूचक है। लेकिन जनसंख्या के साथ साथ आप जब तक आत्मनिर्भर नहीं बनिएगा, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का संकल्प है आत्मनिर्भर बनना। कोविड काल में आप लोगों ने देखा कि एक आंदोलन चला कि हमें चाइनीज सामानों का बहिष्कार करना हो। अरे दुर्भाग्य है इस राष्ट्र का कि हम अपने देवी देवताओं की मूर्तियों का भी चाइना से आयात करते हैं। हम अपने जो त्योहार होते हैं उसमें सजावट की सामग्री होते हैं, उसका भी हम लोग आयात करते हैं। ये दुर्भाग्य नहीं तो क्या है कि हम अपने पूजा की भी सामग्री का चाइना से आयातित सामानों का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट हम लोग का एक चौराहे पर है। आत्ममंथन की जरूरत है सभी देश के सभी नागरिकों का। ये आप जब तक राष्ट्र का सम्यक विकास नहीं करेंगे और आप विशेष रूप से स्टार्टअप शुरू नहीं होगा। हम नौकरियां खोज रहे हैं, नौकरियों के लिए लड़ाइयां हो रही है, रोज आंदोलन चल रहे हैं कि यहाँ नौकरी मिलना चाहिए, रिजर्वेशन का मुद्दा वो आ रहा है। अरे नहीं, मैं आप सभी युवकों से अपील करता हूँ कि आप नौकरी मत खोजिए, नौकरियों के पीछे मत भागिए, आप अपना स्टार्टअप शुरू कीजिए, आप अपना इनोवेटिव आइडिया से कुछ राष्ट्र के नवनिर्माण में काम करके नौकरियों का सृजन कीजिए। यह सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए, खास करके देश के लिए बहुत बड़ा मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। तो आवश्यकता इस बात की है कि मैं आप सभी यूथ से अपील करता हूँ और खास करके 2 दिन के अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार से बातें छन के जरूर आई होंगी कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट तभी होगा जब देश का नौजवान जागेगा, देश के बुद्धिजीवी जागेंगे, देश के छात्र जागेंगे, देश के युवक जागेंगे और कुछ करेंगे और अपना बेस्ट कंट्रीब्यूशन वो स्टार्टअप के रूप में, शोध के रूप में सोसाइटी के सामने जब तक नहीं लाएंगे तब तक इस देश का सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो सकता है। इसलिए आवश्यकता इस बात की है कि अभी सभी जो यहाँ इंटेलेक्चुअल बैठे हुए हैं, स्कॉलर्स बैठे हुए हैं, मैं आप सबसे अपील करता हूँ कि आप अपने तो शोध को करें ही और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में अपना तो योगदान दे ही, आप छात्रों को, आने वाली पीढ़ी को और सोसाइटी के अन्य लोगों को जो आपके छात्र नहीं भी हैं उनको प्रेरित करने का काम करें कि अब नौकरियों के पीछे भागने का युग नहीं रहा। अब नौकरियों को पैदा करने की जिम्मेदारी हमारे नया यूथ फोर्स पर है और ये नया यूथ फोर्स अपने शोध से, अपने अपने विवेक से, अपने स्टार्टअप से ही यह नौकरियों को पैदा करके रोजगार देने का काम करेंगी। और जब तक नौकरियां पैदा नहीं होंगी, लोगों की भलाई नहीं होगी, देश आत्मनिर्भर नहीं होगा। आत्मनिर्भर केंद्र सरकार का, पूज्य प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का एजेंडा है कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत। आत्मनिर्भर कैसे बनेगा? आत्मनिर्भर कोई सरकारें आत्मनिर्भर आपको नहीं बना सकती हैं। सरकारी योजनाओं से आपको अनुदान मिल सकता है, सहायता मिल सकती है, लेकिन वो अनुदान सहायता आपको अपंग बनाती है। आवश्यकता इस बात की है कि आप अपने कर्तव्य पथ पर बढ़े, काम करें और रोजगार पैदा करें, अपना अन्न अपना अर्न करेंगे। जब तक आप स्वयं अर्न नहीं करेंगे, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो सकता है। इसलिए मैं आप सबसे अपील करता हूं कि आप मनन करें, विचार करें और यह सोचें कि राष्ट्र के कंट्रीब्यूशन में हमारी क्या सहभागिता है। वह सहभागिता, आपको नौकरी मिल गई, आप अच्छे कॉलेज में आ गए, अच्छे यूनिवर्सिटी में आ गए, परिवार आपका जी रहा है, लेकिन आप सोचिए कि आपने सोसाइटी के लिए, आपने इस देश के लिए आपका क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए। तो जब तक सबका कंट्रीब्यूशन थोड़ा ही थोड़ा नहीं होगा, तब तक सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा। और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट ऑल राउंड नहीं होगा तो आपका आर्थिक विकास नहीं होगा। तो आर्थिक विकास के लिए आप सबको जागृत होना होगा, तभी हम समझते हैं कि हमारे देश के युवक जागेंगे और आत्मनिर्भर भारत की तरफ बढ़ेंगे। तो वह दिन दूर नहीं कि हम अपने यूथ के बदौलत, अपने युवा वर्ग के बदौलत, अपने बुद्धिजीवियों के बदौलत, अपने शिक्षकों के बदौलत, हमें अपने शिक्षकों पर गर्व है कि आप वो व्यक्तित्व है, आप वो फोर्स है जो पूरे देश की तकदीर को बदल ही सकते हैं। आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जगत में अपनी पहचान को सर्वोच्च स्थान पर बनाने में अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दे सकते हैं। इसलिए आप सभी इंडिविजुअल स्तर पर प्रयास करें कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट कैसे होगा। और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट जब तक नहीं होगा, कॉलेज का विकास नहीं होगा, यूनिवर्सिटी का विकास नहीं होगा, राज्य का विकास नहीं होगा, राज्य का विकास नहीं होगा तो राष्ट्र का विकास नहीं होगा, तो राष्ट्र का विकास नहीं होगा तो यूनिवर्स का विकास नहीं होगा। लेकिन आप सभी सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट अपने देश को आत्म केंद्रित करके सोचें कि कैसे होगा और कैसे यह विकास होगा और सतत डेवलपमेंट, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट कैसे होगा। और जब सब लोग जग जाएंगे तो बहुत बड़ा क्रांति हो जाएगा और भारत दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी आर्थिक महाशक्ति कम से कम हम समझते हैं कि 2 ही दशक में बन के तैयार हो जाएगा। इसलिए मैं आप सबसे अपील करता हूं कि आप जागे, उठें, अपने कर्तव्य को समझें, सिर्फ सेमिनार तक ही सीमित नहीं रहें, यह काम हो गया। आप मनन करें, विचार करें कि राष्ट्र का विकास वही विकास है जिसमें सभी सुखी संपन्न हो, सबका जीवन स्तर एक सामान्य स्तर पर रहे, कोई भूखा नहीं रहे, गरीबी दूर हो, अशिक्षा दूर हो और खास करके कोई नंगा नहीं रहे, कोई भूखा नहीं रहे। तभी सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को हम अपने उच्च स्तर पर ले जा सकते हैं। इन्हीं बातों के साथ मैं आप सबको धन्यवाद देता हूं, टीम गया कॉलेज को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आप लोगों ने यह 2 दिन का जो समागम किया है, यह मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। और हम समझते हैं कि कॉलेज के विकास के साथ साथ यूनिवर्सिटी के मान को बढ़ाने का काम आप लोगों ने किया है। और यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से इस तरह के किसी भी आयोजन में हम लोग हर तरह से मदद करने के लिए तैयार हैं। आगे मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि कम से कम साल में 4 इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस गया कॉलेज कराए। इस उम्मीद के साथ गया कॉलेज जिधर चलेगा आपके 19 कंस्टिट्यूएंट कॉलेज आपको फॉलो करेंगे। दीपक जी, मैं आपकी जिम्मेदारी लेता हूँ और यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से कोई अवरोध पैदा नहीं होगा। ऐसे कार्यक्रम को कराने के लिए कोई अवरोध पैदा नहीं होगा। यूनिवर्सिटी आपके साथ खड़ी है हर अच्छे काम में, और खास करके इस तरह के सेमिनार में और इसके आयोजन में मेरी व्यक्तिगत रुचि बहुत रहती है। जानते हैं दिवाकर साहब कि हम लोग राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर इस तरह के संगोष्ठियों में भाग लेते हैं और उसको प्रोत्साहित करते हैं, और कम से कम 4 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का ये पहला आपका हो गया। इस साल आते आते 3 कराइए, और महीना में 1 राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार आप जरूर कराइए। ये बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि होगी। इन सभी बातों के साथ ना मैं आप सबको मुबारकबाद देता हूँ, आयोजकों को धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आप लोगों ने हमारी बातों को सुना। क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ, समयाभाव कम है, मुझे यूनिवर्सिटी का बहुत काम है, मैं जाना चाहता हूं, और मैं अपने 2 अभिभावकों को उसे अन्यथा आप नहीं लेंगे कि मैं प्रीपोन करा के ये कार्यक्रम कराया है। इसके लिए मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूं। मैं अधिकारी साहब को भी धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आप इतने बड़े विश्वविख्यात विश्वविद्यालय से आए हैं। आप जैसे स्कॉलर का आना बहुत बड़ी बात है, और हम लोग के बीच हरिकेश बाबू कोई साधारण हस्ती नहीं है, साधारण हस्ती नहीं है, ये ज्ञान के भंडार है, ज्ञान के भंडार है, सरस्वती पुत्र है। जब ये बोलते हैं तो लगता है सरस्वती बोल रही है इनके जीवा पर। इन्होंने जयप्रकाश विश्वविद्यालय के कुलपति के रूप में, बीएचयू में शिक्षा संकाय के अध्यक्ष के रूप में जो नाम कमाया है, पूरे देश में इनका नाम आदर के साथ लिया जाता है। इनको भी मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ। और दिवाकर साहब के बारे में बहुत कुछ नहीं कहना है। दिवाकर साहब का काम बोलता है, पूरे देश में ही नहीं विदेश में इनकी अर्थशास्त्र के क्षेत्र में इन्होंने जो काम किया है अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा है। ऐसे नामचीन व्यक्तियों का आना और इस सेमिनार की शोभा बढ़ाना, यह हमारे उत्कृष्टता का परिचायक है। आदेश जी, धन्यवाद, आपने ऐसे लोगों को बुलाया है। पुनः मैं आप सबको धन्यवाद देता हूं। आप सबको प्रणाम।
धन्यवाद सर, अपने आशीर्वचनों से इस सभा को संबोधित करने के लिए आपका आभार, साधुवाद। इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी में सम्मिलित होने से आपके सम्मिलित होने से 4 चांद लग गया। I extend my deep gratitude to our honorable vice.
हमारे बीच माननीय वाइस चांसलर प्रोफेसर शाही जी उपस्थित हुए और अपने व्यस्तम समय को इन्होंने यहाँ दिया है। इसके लिए महाविद्यालय परिवार इनका आभारी है, और हम सब उनको धन्यवाद देते हैं। इस शुभ घड़ी में ये उपस्थित हुए, और यह कार्यक्रम भी समापन की ओर ही है। थोड़े से सेशन और बचे हुए हैं जो इसके बाद भी चलते रहेंगे। तो आप सबों को मैं बधाई देता हूं। थैंक यू।
In the meanwhile, I request Dr. Chandrika Soni to kindly express deep gratitude towards our VC sir. Good afternoon to all respected dignitaries, guests, delegates, participants, and my dear colleagues. I am privileged to give the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Economics, GayabCollege. I convey deep gratitude and hearty thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Shahi Shahi sir, the Chief Patron, without whose support this conference would not have been possible. He supported us in all possible manners in spite of his busy schedule to organize this conference. Thank you so much, sir. And thankful to Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar sir, Principal GayabCollege Gaya, Conference Chairperson, he helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approval for organizing international conference in our campus. His motivation and assistance inspired us to give our best to this conference. Now start. We will now restart our sessions, both online and offline. The participants. The participants who have to present their paper offline are requested to move towards the MBA building where you shall be making presentation in the MBA conference hall. And Mr. Arjun, if you can listen to me, if you can hear me, just.
Yes, Dr. Shahi, yes.
Okay, so we shall proceed with the online presentations for half an hour. After that, we shall have a short break. Not a short one, but a long one for lunch.
You want to continue with the presentation, Dr. Shruti?
Yeah, for this session, I request Professor A.K. Khan, Sir, Department of Commerce, to chair the session. I invite him to the dais to kindly chair the session. Mr. Arjun, can you just inform how many participants do we have in this session?
We'll just check, yes. We can resume with Anila MG. Anila MG, are you ready?
Yes, sir, ready.
Okay, apart from Anila ma'am, how many more do we have?
We have Jagriti ji.
I'm sorry.
We have Anuradha ji. We have 3 participants.
All right, so
Yes, sir.
after all these 3 participants present their papers, we will have a break for lunch, and then we shall reassemble because we have a special invited lecture at 3 p.m. by Professor Dr. Shruti Priya. So I request all the members present over here as well as online to join us for that lecture. For now, we shall proceed with the online presentation. I request Professor Khan to proceed.
Anila MG, we are not able to view your slides. Yes, Sonam ji, we'll have your presentation also. Anila MG, can you see? We are not able to see your slide. Can try again.
A.K. Khan, Professor, Department of Commerce, Bihar, stand before you as a chairperson of this session, and we are going to start this session, and we welcome all participants and audience. And now we are going to start. Shruti. No, now we are going to start.
Yes, sir.
With our
Anila ma'am.
participant.
Yes,
Anila ma'am was presenting.
Yes.
On the topic.
is it visible?
Sustainable economic development of India. Issues, challenges, and opportunities. So we are going to just start. And
Anila MG,
every participant has
Shall I
only
start?
5 to 6 minutes to sum up their presentation.
Right, Anila MG, continue.
Okay, coming to the advantages of green products, the first advantage of green products is these products are cost effective. Green products last longer than conventional products. Moreover, these products consume less energy and other resources, reducing bills of the users. In this sense, these products are cost effective. If operated responsibly and maintained properly, the green products result in low maintenance cost. For example, take green buildings. They market themselves not only for being environmentally friendly, but also for less operational cost. Next, use of green products improves health. These products are made from materials that are free from harmful chemicals and components. They not only improve physical but also mental health. In green buildings, large windows are installed, which allows healthy and fresh air along with natural lighting in abundance. It improves mental health and reduces stress. Next advantage of uses of green products is it prevents the overuse of resources. Green products reduce the threat of overuse of resources and fossil fuels and encourages the generation of energy using natural resources. Lastly, it protects the environment. Green products are made from organic and biodegradable materials and are designed to use least non-renewable resources and toxic chemicals to produce energy. This reduces the generation of greenhouse gases like chlorofluorocarbons, ozone, methane, etc., and hence prevents pollution and deterioration of environment. Then there are some suggestions to improve the green consumerism or the uses of green products. Firstly, digital media platforms can be used by green entrepreneurs to propagate awareness about their products, which helps to stimulate green consumption. Secondly, awareness programs of environmental degradation and benefits of green products must be launched along with the cooperation of NGOs to boost green consumerism. Next, manufacturers of green products should ensure a better quality always, which encourages consumers to use such products. Also, they should ensure easy access to green products by making them available on a larger scale. It is also advisable to provide incentives like subsidies to consumers to promote the use of environmentally sustainable products. Coming to the conclusion section, it can be concluded that sustainable development is not possible without the preservation of environment. Thus, being a fundamental component, conservation of environment is indispensable to achieve sustainable development. By using green products, we can protect our environment to some extent, as the consumption of non-eco-friendly products have raising severe environmental problems. Through the preservation of environment, surely we can achieve sustainable development to some extent. Undoubtedly, it can be said that the consumption of green products plays a major role in achieving sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you, Anilaji.
Thank you for hearing me, sir.
Thank you. Next, we can go to our next participant. Anuradha Shaji, are you ready?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead. Anuradha Shaji, are you with us?
Oh, yes, sir. Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. The next paper presenter.
Anuradha ji, who's with you? Anuradha ji? Okay.
Students, then you can call Mr. Raman Kumar or Archana Kumari.
Sir, we will go to those who are present here. Jagriti ji, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. I'm sharing my presentation.
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes. Please try to present within 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. My topic is the implication of new education policy on adolescent girls belonging to socio-economic disadvantaged group. Introduction. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development adopted by all United Nations states in 2015. According to that Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 4 is to ensure inclusive, equitable, and quality education. SDG 4 also ensure lifelong learning opportunity. SDG 4.5 emphasizes eliminating gender disparities in education. And if we see the local context of Jharkhand, most of the adolescent girls are those that are out of school according to ASER report. Objectives of this study is to study adolescent girl of economic socio disadvantaged group and their reach to e-learning resources and new education policy regarding e-learning. Second objective is to study adolescent girl of socioeconomic disadvantaged group and their interest in their school subject and higher education and provisions of NEP 2020 regarding this. Third objective is to study adolescent girls of socioeconomic disadvantaged group and parental support for their education. And the last one is to study various provision of NEP 2020 that will help improve the quality of education and make it inclusive. I have used methodology. It is a descriptive survey. Population of my study is adolescent girl studying in Government School of Jharkhand. For sample, I have taken class 9th and 10th students of government secondary school under the state government of Jharkhand. I have selected 4 government schools of Ratu block of Ranchi, and tool used by me is standardized tool by Dr. Rachna Sharma. Tool name is Adolescent Girl Education Problem Survey. Finding and analysis. I have 93 responses out of 100. I have sent questionnaire. I have sent 100 questionnaire out of which I have 93 responses, of which SCs are 5.4%, ST are 52.7%, OBC are 36.6%, and rest are general of economically poor group families. My first question was, how many of you have problem in attending e-learning resources? Almost 63.4% adolescent girls say sometimes they have problem in reaching e-learning resources. And 5.4% students always face this problem. If we go to NEP 2020 and document, NEP 2020 document in para 4.46 mention that school will develop smart classroom in a phased manner. School subject taughts are uninteresting to most of the adolescent girls. Almost 48.4% of students find it uninteresting sometimes, and 55.9% of the adolescent girls find it difficult to concentrate in their studies. NEP 2020 has added experiential learning. In experiential learning, it means it will be provided hands-on experience, storytelling methods, art integrated study method as a pedagogy for teaching the school children. Are the students afraid of taking the exam? 60% of students are not afraid, but 30% of students sometimes face difficulty in taking exams, and 7.5% students reported that they always face difficulty in taking exam. Now, the government through NEP 2020 has focused to reform the assessment process. Assessment will now be the outcome-based learning, critical thinking, analytical thinking, and higher order thinking. Now, the focus will be on formative assessment. Formative assessment means assessment of the learning. It means it will check how the students are learning. It will not check the rote memories of the student. This is, I have taken from NEP 2020. It assessment, what NEP 2020 has proposed. It will continuous tracking of learning outcome of each child. Board examination to be made more flexible with assessment of essential skill, assessment to focus on core concept, higher order and fundamental skills. Artificial based software will be used to track the progress of the students. National Assessment Center, PARAF, will be set up, and self-assessment and peer assessment will also be focused. NTA will work to offer a common aptitude test of high quality to eliminate the need of coaching for these exams. Coaching systems will be eliminated. If we talk about the social economic disadvantaged adolescent girls, we can see that 44% of students reported that they think that they would not be able to complete their schooling, and 35.5% of adolescent girls reported that they think that they would not be able to join the higher education. What NEP 2020 has proposed for them is academic bank of credit. Academic bank of credit would digitally score their credit score, and the credit earned from that, from recognized higher education institute, can be transferred to get degree from another higher education institutions.
Jagriti, please sum up your paper.
Okay, sir.
I'm Hadova.
यहाँ में ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा
5 minutes for every candidate.
Okay, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. I'm just winding up.
ऑप्शन ही नहीं दिखा रहा
National Education Policy 2020 envisages an inclusive and structural change in the education. What I have highlighted in the NEP 2020 document that is more relevant to adolescent girls is special education zones will be formed, where more educational setups will be for them. Free boarding school like Kasturba Gandhi School, KVs and NVs will be set up in aspirational districts for girls, and gender inclusion fund will be established, which will be for inclusion of adolescent girls. Conclusion: the new education policy is in line with the United Nations Development Goals. It is inclusive policy that emphasizes equitable quality education, which is a challenging task but not impossible if implemented effectively. Introducing curriculum change, reducing syllabus, adding experiential learning, changing in assessment pattern to setting a special education zone. It has mentioned gender inclusion fund for females and transgender, which is a very welcome move by the policy makers. The government and policy maker need to reduce the digital divide and increase the reach of e-learning resources to equitable learning, quality learning. Parent roles in adolescent girls' education is equally important. The Economic Survey of Jharkhand 2020 and the survey conducted by this small study also show positive inclusion toward adolescent girls' education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jagriti ji. Anuradha ji, are you ready?
Oh, yes, sir.
Are you ready to share your screen?
Oh, yes, sir.
Please go ahead. Are you finding any issues in sharing?
No, sir. Just a minute, sir.
You are requested to kindly wind up.
Sir, it is visible.
No, not visible. Now visible. Yes, now visible.
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon. Myself, I'm Adarsh, research scholar from NIPA, New Delhi. Now, my today conference topic: effect of violence against women on higher education in India.
Go ahead, Anuradha ji, go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Anuradha ji, go ahead.
Okay.
You can see your slide.
Okay, sir. Now, today violence introduction. Today violence is a worrying problem all around the world. It is topic of major concern in homes, workplace, social gathering places, and both rural and urban locations. Due to social culture factors, girls are frequently married at a young age, even when they are not physically, psychologically, emotionally, and are not ready to raise the children. Sir, my slide moving on. Effect of violence
Yes,
on women's
it's moving.
dropout rates in higher education. Violence has a direct negative impact on women attending college on their ability to focus, perform well in the classroom, and complete all their homework, all of which are closely related to the commitment of their educational commitment. Violence also has a direct negative impact on the dropout of women from higher education. Violence against women is a problem, many issues that women faces. The brutally that was used against him is a biggest issue. Uh, in this continuation, there are the God's homes. If women do not in fact have this position in society, therefore there can be violence or crimes against women of any type. The second point of view held by women is of greater women in society equal rights. Mathis and Ruth had started these crimes against women and misbehavior were considering women's life is your story, milk in the lab and water in the eyes. Violence includes many acts that causes bodily harms, emotionally distract or valuable against another person's. In this continuation, the term domestic violence refers to instance of physically or sexually abuse wife and other imperative behavior. The main ego is desire to maintain the woman in the positions of all courts in the main driver of the violence against the women. Importance of the higher education for women. Higher education is important for women because it improves society and economic condition. Education is necessary of life and completes living. The barriers of the women in higher education. Many barriers of the women education have been observed in India. According to Bursar 2004 report, that the lack of the school infrastructure facilities such as the toilet for girls in the barriers of education. Indian society, male-dominated society where education of the female children is discouraged due to the presence of the higher stereotyping in the gender segregation and considerations. Women perception in pursuing higher education. In this diagram, a percentage of women students of higher education. Although the policy framework, the view girls' education is a fundamental human rights, the reality is less encouraging. Young women are needed at home in poor homes to assist the basic domestic tasks or to work off subsistence wages. Such responsibilities may be awarded for young males, giving them the chance to seek higher education. The emphasis of parents encouraging their daughters to pursue higher education in characteristics of these generations. Now, suggestion for the improving the status of women in higher education. The typical behavior and mindset that divorced women needs to shift. Women should assert their right to equal decision-making authority organization in society. Degree-level training and education should be provided for women, enable them to seek of higher education and break free from ignorance. In this conclusion, the main numerous reasons for violence that emerge from the findings were peer group control, inappropriate use of computers and mobile devices, ignorance, and malinstructions. Particularly throughout their adolescent years, the women experience greater suffering and are more susceptible to aggressive behavior. A woman with more education has the abilities, self-assurance, and the power to be better citizens. Uh, Now, these are my side. Thank you.
Anupam Saniji, now you can go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. You can start your presentation.
Yes, madam. Just a minute. I'm just sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Professor Khan, Professor Divakar, and all the participants, as well as the technical team of IMPRI. The topic of my research is climate change and regional vulnerabilities in India. In fact, I've
Anupam
been...
Saniji, kindly complete your presentation within 5 minutes.
Sure. I won't take more than 5 minutes. So I am Dr. Anupam. I am an assistant professor in Department of Environmental Studies from Satyavati College, Delhi University. Climate change is, of course, a debatable topic these days. And understanding the impact in the global scenario is very much important. India is at high risk because of course, large population, because it largely depends on agriculture sector. We have a rapidly growing economy, and there are ways of research which talks about these things. In fact, the IPCC document, it says that India is expected to face a more frequent intense of floods, droughts, heat waves, and etc. So all these are predicted to have a significant environmental, economic, and social consequences, especially for vulnerable regional communities. If I talk, then so understanding regional vulnerability is also very important, because the concept of regional vulnerability is crucial in assessing the effect of climate change. Regional vulnerability depends on geography, demography, socio-economic factors, and of course, the exposure to climate hazards like extreme weather events, sea level effects. A study of Anger et al. In 2007, they evaluated the susceptibility of various regions to climate change effects, with that encompasses the water resources, coastal areas, food security, and so on. IPCC 2014 also explored the effect of climate change on various regions worldwide. That includes Africa, Asia, Latin America, and so on. Defendaw and Field in 2013 analyzed the relationship between climate change and extreme weather events in the United States. So, seeing these things, the main objective of my research article was to analyze what is there in the literature, and to analyze the impact in Indian scenario with specific focus on economy, society, and environment. My also main objective was to identify the research gap and also recommend the policymakers and various stakeholders to address these challenges which are imposed by climate change. So to fulfill my objective, I did a literature review. My literature review was done on Scopus, articles were searched on Scopus Web of Science using the keywords used in my title. And based on that, more than 25 articles I screened, which specifically talked about the regional vulnerability effect or due to climate change. So the topic generally included socio-economic effect of climate change, like Broad et al. 2007, Panda 2009, Mathur and Bhatt 2017, and so on. You can clearly see through my slides, there are various articles, and they also were certain research gaps, which I will be highlighting in further slides. So there were research topics on environmental effect of climate change, that such as Goswami et al., Kundu et al., Mukherjee and Shah, Shukla et al., Singh et al., Ramchandar et al. There were also research topics that talks about the efficacy measures, like Government of India document 2014, Sohel et al. 2019, Rao et al. 2019 also have talked about such measures. And there were research topic that talks about the importance of public participation, like Brower et al. 2007. So all the research article which I studied is broadly classified in 4 research topics, that is socioeconomic, environmental effect, efficacy measures, and importance of public administration. So what was the research gap out of reading these kind of research? The research gap, one of the research gap was that more and more research is needed to focus on social and economic impact, which was missing. Very less research has focused on smallholder farmers, fisher folks, or gender-specific effects of climate change. These aspects were not followed at all. So it was very crucial to take prompt actions, such as prompting access to credits and insurance, prompting sustainable farming and fishing methods, and also building resilience. The second gap, the research gap of my topic was to see, which I found out, was that effectiveness of climate change policy adaptation and mitigation.
Anupam Saniji, kindly conclude your presentation within a minute.
Okay. So further research, of course, need to be accessed to see the effectiveness measures and their impacts on vulnerable populations, the role of local governance, etc. And also the continuous monitoring system was really missing. My third research gap was the interconnected between climate change and natural resource was also missing. How climate change affects water resources, forest, agriculture products, and how can sustainable management practice can mitigate the climate change. These were also missing. The fourth research gap which I highlighted was need of innovation participation. How participating mapping and citizen science approach use the local communities in climate recycling. So these methods need to be addressed, which the research really lacked. Just a minute. I missed few of the slides. So policy suggestions, what will be the policy suggestions? Yeah. So despite India has so many policies and programs such as Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima, International Solar Alliance, Clean India, National Green Tribunal, there are policies, but I suggest that the increased investment should be towards the green energy technologies, which are lesser. Of course, nowadays, green technology has emerged a bit. My research was focused till 2012. From 2010 to 2012, I read the articles. So this was really missing. So also my article suggestion is to develop policies or programs that promote sustainable agriculture practices, to strengthen the institutional governance, to increase public awareness and education, to increase the private sector investment in climate change, and also to foster international cooperation, because it is very important for that international technologies are incorporated in this. These are my references which I used to make my slide and for the paper. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kiran Kumari ji, you can go next. Kindly
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Under 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Wait, I should start. Wait, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am, my PPT?
No.
Okay, 1 minute. Ma'am, now it is visible?
No. You can read out.
Ma'am, are you presenting from phone?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, yes, sir.
Okay, that is right.
Actually,
You can just summarize it to us. You can keep your video on. And
okay.
you can just
Actually,
summarize
sir,
it to us.
my PC is not connecting through your Zoom link. That's why
Okay,
I'm
you can,
presenting on my
no
phone.
problem. You can try joining again. Please check your email and try joining with that link. Meanwhile, we can go to Sumit Kumar Mishra ji. Are you ready?
Sir, I will present without PPT.
Okay, you can keep your video on and summarize.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So, good evening, all of you. Myself, Kiran Kumari, PhD research scholar from RI Bhubaneswar. Okay. As we all know, the 21st century is the era of globalization, modernization, and it is advanced technology based. So our new education policy, NEP 2020, has given more emphasis on the acquisition of those skills which will help our students to be competent in this global society. And to improve the quality of our education, our future teachers must be well equipped with these 21st century skills. And as I belong to Bihar, my concern is how we can improve the quality of education in Bihar. We all know that still in our schools, we follow old teaching learning practices. Even individual students activities are given, and there are very less collaboration among students and teachers and the other stakeholders. And still we give more emphasis on centric classrooms. There are less emphasis on using creative and innovative strategies or methods of teaching and learning. Thus, it is the time we need to bring a change in training of our pre-service teachers, and all the pre-service teacher education programs must include the 21st century skills. Even NEP 2020 says that our education goal must be designed to meet the changing social demands. So the first thing comes, first things comes is what are the 21st century skills? So there are many 21st century skills, but I have selected only 5 based on the P21 framework and CBSE handbooks. So I have taken learning skills and literacy skill. So actually, I am unable to show my PPT. Otherwise, I could have shown the definition of 21st century skills, which is based on CBSE handbook for pre-service teachers. That what are the 21st century skills should be. So first one is critical thinking skill, then creativity skill, communication skill, collaboration skill, and information media and technology skill. So objective of my study is to find out the difference in perception of 21st century skills between male and female pre-service teachers, and to find out the difference in perception of 21st century skills between pre-service teachers of government and private colleges. And based on that, my hypothesis is there is no significant difference in perception of 21st century skills between male and female pre-service teachers. And second one is there is no significant difference in perception of 21st century skills between pre-service teachers of government and private colleges. And for this study, I have taken descriptive survey method, and my population is all the secondary pre-service teacher education teachers who are enrolled in government and private college under Magadh University. And my sample is 40 pre-service teachers from government college and 40 pre-service teachers from private college. That is 20 male and 20 female from each college. And for data collection, I have used a Google form, which is based on a standardized questionnaire, which have 25 questions. in 5 domains that are creativity skill, critical thinking skills, communication skills, collaboration skills, and information media and technology skills. The tool was on a 5-point Likert scale, and the reliability of the tool
Kumari ji,
was
kindly conclude.
0.83. Okay, ma'am. The overall results says that after analyzing the data from the implementation and integration of 21st century skills in secondary pre-service teachers, teacher education program, we found 2 skills, that is communication and collaboration skills, were partially integrated, and creativity, critical thinking skills, and information media and technology skills were very poorly integrated. And there are so many challenges, or we can say that there are so many hinders for this. And basically in Bihar, I found that the lack of resources and infrastructure are the major factor for not fully implementing these 21st century skills. And lastly, I will conclude with the recommendations that it provides sufficient information for development of secondary pre-service teacher education curriculum in such a way that it will promote 21st century skills. Then the result can help the policymakers and educators to analyze the teacher education curriculum so that the new education policy 2020 can be fully implemented in our Indian education. The teacher education curriculum planning and implementation should be reformed with a view of providing a holistic educational experiences among pre-service teachers in Bihar. So that's all. I will end up, and thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Anjani Kumar Tripathi ji, you can go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon to one and all. I am Anjani Kumar Tripathi. My screen is visible now, or?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So I am Anjani Kumar Tripathi. I am going to present on the topic educational disparity for female students in engineering education using PLFS data in India. Sorry, it's not moving. Sorry, my screen is not moving. It's okay. So what is education? According to Swami Vivekananda, education is the manifestation of perfection already in a man. So there are 3 types of education: formal, informal, and non-formal. I am basically focusing on formal education here. And there are 3 levels of education: primary, secondary, and tertiary education. So I am focusing on tertiary education and especially on engineering education. So there are different types of disparities. Disparities can be on the basis of caste, class, religion, and class. So I am focusing on educational disparity. So what is educational disparity? Educational disparity means disparity on the basis of educational attainment, like gross enrollment ratio, net enrollment ratio, attendance ratio. So I am focusing here on gross enrollment ratio. What is sustainable development goal number 4 and goal number 5? They focus on education and equality. So quality sustainable development 4 is focus on quality education. At present, we see that STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, the enrollment of female is 43%. But if we see focus on engineering education, the participation of female is very less. We will show you from my result that thing. I have gone through some of the reviews, some of the literatures.
Anjani Kumar Tripathi ji, kindly conclude your presentation within 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. So my objective is to study the existing educational disparity in the engineering discipline among the male and female students in India. The data source which I have used is PLFS data 2021. So from my study, I have found that I have divided the participation of female students into three categories: high performing states, low performing states, and medium performing states. In high performing states, I have found that Mizoram, Lakshadweep, Pondicherry, Kerala, Arunachal Pradesh, they are high performing states. Kerala, which we can see in most of the education means social indicators, it is performing better. Here also we can see that thing. In medium performing states, we can see the Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. They are performing better. We can see here that the range of medium performing states, it is from 18% to 32%. It is red bar is showing the participation of female students in engineering education. In low performing states, we can see the condition is very pathetic, where we can see that from 0% to 15% the participation of female is there. So, and most of the states we can see that Jharkhand, Bihar, which is always we can see in educational indicators and social indicators, it is not that much performing better. Here also we can see the same thing. Odisha and Delhi and Gujarat, we can see these states are good in terms of development, but in female participation of engineering education, it is not so much good. So, for conclusion, I can see one thing that from above analysis, we can see that not only except 2 states, no any states are better performing, that more than 50% is not means the participation of female students in engineering is not more than 50%, except 2 states. So I think and for 27 states, the participation of female students is less than 30%. So for suggestion, I will say that government should focus on increasing the enrollment of female students in engineering discipline, and policymakers should focus intensively on those states which are relatively low performing states. Thank you.
Sumit Kumar Mishra ji, you can go ahead now.
Should I stop my video?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. गुड आफ्टरनून मैम, मैं सुमित कुमार मिश्रा, समाजशास्त्र विभाग मगध विश्वविद्यालय बोधगया। आज मैं तमाम उन विद्वानों को सादर अभिनंदन वंदन अभिव्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी में मुझे 2 शब्द बोलने का मौका दिया है। मेरे रिसर्च टॉपिक का प्रपोजल नाम भारत में महिला उद्यमिता, अवसर एवं बाधाएं है। जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं कि महिला शब्द जिसका अर्थ एवं अनेकों नाम जैसे शक्ति, प्रेरणा, करुणा, प्यार, विश्वास, दया से परिपूर्णता का, जैसा कि हम लोग भारतीय समाज में जानते हैं कि महिलाएं नजाकत और प्यार की मूर्त है, वहीं दूसरी ओर हम उसका स्वरूप भी जानते हैं। सशक्त महिला अपने आप में एक प्रतिमान स्थापित करती है, एक नायिका तथा पथ प्रदर्शक के रूप में। आज हम महिलाओं की बात करें तो उनके अनेकों रूप से प्रायः हम सभी परिचित होते रहते हैं। जैसे वह एक सफल उद्यमी के रूप में, महिलाएं एक सफल उद्यमी के रूप में हमेशा से ही औद्योगिक विकास में महत्वपूर्ण उत्कृष्ट भूमिका निभा रही है। भारत जैसे विकासशील देश में हमेशा से ही उद्यमियों की प्रमुख एवं सशक्त भूमिकाएं रही है। हमारे समाज में महिलाओं को सदैव ही एक कुशल गृहिणी के रूप में देखा जाता है एवं स्वीकार भी किया जाता है। हमारी समाज में ऐसी अवधारणाएं हैं कि महिला समाज व्यवसाय के लिए बनी ही नहीं है। महिलाओं को उद्यमिता के क्षेत्र में सहभागिता केवल नहीं के बराबर रही है। हालांकि महिलाएं व्यवसाय करने में उन फर्मों का चुनाव करती है जिनका चयन खुद पुरुष वर्ग नहीं कर पाता है। क्योंकि महिलाएं के जीवन में एक कुशल गृहिणी से कुशल व्यवसायी तक बनने का सफर आसान नहीं रहा है। फिर भी हम तस्वीर के साथ साथ अब आम लोगों में उनकी सोच और अवधारणाएं भी बदल रही है, जिसका जीता जागता उदाहरण अनीता गुप्ता बिहार में भोजपुर जिले के सामाजिक उपक्रमी हैं, जो व्यवसाय के लिए एक गैर सरकारी संस्था जो खुद पीड़ित घरेलू हिंसा से पीड़ित होने के बावजूद ग्रामीण महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा एवं व्यवसाय के लिए एक गैरकारी संस्था एनजीओ और एसएचजी स्वयं सहायता समूह के माध्यम से एक प्रतिमान स्थापित की और बिहार सरकार ने इन्हें नारी शक्ति पुरस्कार 2020-21 के लिए पुरस्कृत किया है। ऑब्जेक्टिव, इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य उस स्त्रीकरण को पता लगाना है जिन्होंने अपने आप कुशल रोजगार पर गतिविधियों में अपनी भागीदारी पेश कर सके। दूसरा, इनके मार्ग में आने वाली परेशानी तथा रुकावटों को पंचायत जानकारी प्राप्त करना। तीसरा, कुशल रोजगार पर क्षेत्रों में इनके लिए उपलब्ध अवसरों की पहचान
सुमित
करके
कुमार
इन्हें
मिश्रा जी
अवगत कराना।
प्लीज कंक्लूड कर दीजिए।
जी मैम, ओके मैम। मैम, इस अध्ययन से निष्कर्ष निकलता है कि भारतीय महिला उद्यमी अपने आप में एक मिसाल है। आधुनिक भारत में महिलाएं विशेष रूप से सूक्ष्म लघु उद्योग के साथ साथ मध्यम उद्योगों को भी सफलतापूर्वक संचालन कर रही है। दैट्स ऑल मैम।
थैंक यू। यामिनी मेलोजी, काइंडली गो अहेड।
Hello. Am
Yes,
I
we can hear
audible?
you. Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, I'll share my screen.
Yes.
Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, no,
My
right
screen is
now,
visible or not?
no, it is not. Now it is visible. Now it is visible.
Okay, then I will start my presentation.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone, respected resource persons and all the participants present. I will present my paper titled Growth of Horticulture Crops in Arunachal Pradesh and Decomposition Analysis. Okay, this is the outline of my presentation. First, I will briefly tell about the introduction about the horticulture, importance of horticulture sector in the economy.
Yami Meloji, you have 3 minutes. Kindly conclude your presentation.
Okay. So, in my study, I have found that as we all know about the importance of the horticulture sector, and it is widely promoted as an alternative source of livelihood. And as part of the literature, the diversification towards horticulture sector improves socioeconomic status of the people in their living status. So, in this group, I tried to analyze the growth of horticulture sector in Arunachal Pradesh, and I used decomposition analysis to understand the source of growth output in the state Arunachal Pradesh. So from the study, it is found that growth of area, production and productivity of horticulture crops in the state, that is Arunachal Pradesh, was negative during the study period. This study period starts from 2010 to 11 to 2021. And study shows that area production and productivity of horticulture crops in the state was negative, while it was positive for the country as a whole. And among the horticulture crops, fruit crops, percentage of fruit crop was highest in the state Arunachal Pradesh. And from the decomposition analysis also, it is found that yield effect was the major driving force of production change in horticulture crops in Arunachal Pradesh. While in case of vegetables, it was the area effect, which is the prime contributor to its production change. So considering the time limit, I will finish my presentation by this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sonam Kumari Gupta ji, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is visible.
Hello, Chairperson. Good afternoon, dear participants. I'm Sonam Kumari Gupta, Assistant Professor in Satyavati College, Delhi University. The topic of my research is GST implementation and its impact in Indian scenario. To begin with, I would like to say that GST is not a new concept. It started in the year 2000 under the supervision of Shri late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who is also known as the father of GST. And in the year 2003, there was this committee that was constituted called Ketkar Task Committee, which was given the task of identifying which kind of GST would be suitable to India. This committee recommended that dual GST would be more suitable to India, seeing the federal nature of our country, wherein both the center and the state have been given power to levy and collect the taxes. The objective of my study is to study the impact of GST on the tax revenue, tax evasion, and tax compliances. Also to study the difficulties and the research gap and to provide some policy suggestions that will help the government in the smooth running of the GST compliances mechanism. To study the paper, I had done a
Sonam Kumari Gupta ji, kindly conclude your presentation within 2 minutes.
Yes. I had studied these papers, who had studied the different impacts on the tax revenue, tax compliances, and overall, the review of literature indicated that the implementation of GST in India has led a positive impact on the various sectors of the economy. Specifically, the GST has led to an increase in tax revenue, a reduction in tax evasion, and an improvement in tax compliances. The implementation of GST has led to an increase in tax revenue, compliances for the service sector, textile industry, real estate, and etc. Now, talking about the recommendations, I would like to say that the government should make the GST program a little simpler, because there's a lot of tax structure for small taxpayers, for bigger taxpayers. So a tax mechanism should be made a little simple, which is easier for the business people to comply with. Secondly, different rates of taxation are creating the chaos in the system. So basically, the New Zealand and countries like New Zealand and Singapore are following the single rate of taxation for all the goods and services. That can be implemented in our country for the smooth running of the GST compliances. Next is a strong, robust infrastructure is required, because the technical glitch is a problem right from the beginning of the GST implementation. Next is there should be various training and awareness program that has to be conducted for the smooth running. Also, the refund mechanism is a little slow in India. The business people are facing a lot of problems. So the refund mechanism can be taken into consideration, wherein quick response can be given from the government side. Finally, the GSTN and the GST Council should make a prompt decision in respect to the social welfare, seeing the welfare of the business people. A quick response should be taken from the council time to time. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Dolly Bharti ji, kindly go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Let's share my screen. Am I visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dolly Bharti, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, GayabCollege. I am presenting on this topic. Yes.
We cannot see your PPT. You can stop share and try sharing again. एक बार शेयर को स्टॉप कर लीजिए.
Okay.
हाँ, फिर से ट्राई कीजिए शेयर करने का.
इसीलिए तुम.
Is it visible?
But you have to go. You have to open this file, ma'am. ये फाइल जहाँ पे खुला हुआ होगा ना, उस पे आ जाइए. हमें फोल्डर दिख रहा है.
I think is it
PDF फाइल आपका खुला हुआ होगा ना कहीं? आपने PDF फाइल खोल रखा है कहीं?
हाँ मैंने खोल रखा है एक्चुअली।
ठीक है, आप वापस से जाइए स्क्रीन शेयर पे और ये फोल्डर वाले पे नहीं आइएगा, वो जो PPT का दिखेगा ना विंडो पॉपअप में, उस पर क्लिक कीजिएगा।
Okay. Is it visible?
No. Ma'am, no problem. You can summarize it.
Okay.
डॉली जी,
Yes, yes.
आप ऐसे ही समराइज कर दीजिए, नो प्रॉब्लम।
Okay. Okay, I'm presenting today I'm presenting on this topic, analysis of consumption of indigenous and imported item in food processing industry in Bihar and India. This topic related with food processing industry. Food processing industrial sector plays an important role in increasing agriculture activity and creating opportunity in terms of employment and export of agro-based product. With excess of large natural resources base, India is a favorable destination for the growth. Indian economy has been growing consistently at an annual rate of over average rate of 4.83% from 2014 to 2020. The development of agriculture is important in the industrial development for the state in general and for the Bihar in particular. So any industry required raw materials to run itself to produce the product it intended to manufacture. Food processing industry is no exception. Raw materials like electricity, water, laboratory testing, chemicals, packing material, fuels, lubricants, gas, consumable, etc. is vital for any industry. These consumption of raw materials increase the demand of it, and hence manufacturing of raw materials in turn create a cycle of economy running. So analysis of consumption of indigenous and imported item is important for food processing industry. Methodology, what was used for the data study is that data from various sources will tabulated to achieve the objective. Analytical tools such as trend analysis and compound growth rate and so was used to examine the variability. The work is limited to the discussion analysis of food processing industries, consumption of indigenous and imported items only. Logarithmic scales, charts, and graphs are preferred. So consumption of indigenous item, there are more than 27.5 lakh of crore rupees of purchasing done alone in the year of 2018-19 for procuring indigenous item utilized in food processing industry in all over India, and out of these 43.7 thousand crore rupees of purchasing with the share of 1.6% was done in Bihar. This table I'm not shown. Actually, I gave the conclusion. Bihar has created a demand for and purchased the indigenous item worth of 2.6 lakh crore rupees in the last 11 years, from 2008 to 2018 to 19, which was contributed immensely to the economic development of the Bihar and growing with compound growth rate of 25%. This will help indirectly generating employment for the citizens who were not directly involved with the food processing industry and generated revenue for the government. Food processing industry was able to create similar effect
for all over the country, with the purchase of 193.5 lakhs crore of indigenous items in the country during the same time span. In addition, Bihar is recognizably able to minimize its dependency on the imported item and can be observed by the fact that in terms of the purchase of imported items, Bihar's share is only 0.1% when compared to the total purchase done in food processing industry in all over India. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can go ahead with our next session. Dr. Shruti.
Yes, you are unmuted.
Shruti, you can hear us?
Hello? Yes, Mr. Rajan, I can hear you. Yes, we can go with the next session. Has ma'am joined us? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.